Hey everybody, I explore the road today. I am here in Ashton Court in Bristol, and I will be reviewing the Canon 70-200mm f2.8 L series Mark II. What a cracking lens, and I can't wait to get started. Already taken some photographs of the deer, but they seem to have scarpered before I could get any closer. And yeah, let's do this. Ashton Court is near the centre of Bristol, and you just drive up and pay for parking, and it's one of the few places where deer are accessible in terms of getting here, driving, and not having to walk a million miles. They are habituated, obviously, because they are living in this park and living on these grounds where they come into contact with people a lot, but they're not habituated to the point where you can just walk up to them and stroke them. They still require a little bit of stealth to get to. So hopefully today I'm gonna have a bit more luck. The ones I saw as soon as I got here just, run off straight away, but now I'm in the woods and I'm hoping I can use this as cover to get a little bit closer to these guys so I can show you what this lens is capable of. Crazy. They just came right down the fence line where I was sat, and they didn't notice me at all, and by the time I'd reached around to press record on the camera, they were right there, so I had to freeze and not move. Oh man, totally epic. Wow. Well, it started to rain, as you can probably hear and see, so I've called it for today in terms of filming outside, and I was just underneath this oak tree trying to get some cover, and it's huge, and I had no idea, but one of those huge stags was walking right up behind me. I just heard this munching by my ear, looked round, and he was literally right there, and so I had to quickly grab the camera and move over. I managed to snap one picture of him as he walked past, and I'll show you that now. For crikey, he seemed so chilled. He seemed to just see me and just carry on walking, but I wasn't taking any chance I was getting out of there. But I think I'm going to call it for photos today, and now it's time to assess this lens. Hey everybody, well that weather rolled in super quick, so I've had to get out in the rain and get indoors to finish off the review. Amazing day with this lens, amazing lens. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Price, first things first. It's not cheap, this is not a cheap lens. This is professional, top of the line, best quality lens, and it costs that much. It's £1,600-ish, brand new depending on where you go, and second hand about 1,200, not the biggest difference in the world, but it's because this thing holds its value. So build quality. You are really getting what you pay for with this thing. It's built of high quality metal, the focus ring, the zoom ring, both really nice grip, feel really good. You've got the 360 tripod mount here to allow you to mount it on your tripod or hold it as a handle, however you want to mount it. But the biggest thing for me is the glass and the construction of this lens. This lens has high performance fluorite element in it, and that essentially removes or tries to reduce chromatic aberrations. And for those of you who don't know, the quickest way to describe it is when you are looking at something which is made for 3D almost, and you don't have your 3D glasses and you can see the different levels of wavelengths, different lights. When you zoom in on cheaper quality lenses, you can see where the different wavelengths of light come through at different focal lengths, and the fluorite element in this really removes that. The image quality of this thing is awesome, but we'll talk about that later. So in terms of build quality, you're not going to get much better. You're getting what you pay for. It's brilliant. You've got your standard buttons on the side, giving you your focus range. If you want to do manual or autofocus, autofocus on this thing is epic. Again, we'll talk about that in a minute. Image stabilization on or off, and your stabilizer modes 1 and 2. 1 is for just kind of regular photography, 2 is when you are going to be panning and moving around a lot, bird photography, sports photography. So yeah, I've been using both modes today because sometimes I was moving left and right with the deer when they didn't see me in the bushes, but other times I was actually quite static. So I had it on the first mode and both worked amazingly well. Today, this thing, oh my gosh, the autofocus was just amazing. It was so good. The autofocus of this lens was quick, it was precise, and it was consistent. Everything you want autofocus to be. And I had some really difficult situations. I had the deer behind a wire fence, as well as lots of different foliage in the foreground, and it held up so well. It was really, really good. I can't stress how good the autofocus is, and you really are getting your money's worth. I know it's £1,500 just over, but wow, it was so good. It was just brilliant all day, it was awesome. The lens stabilization was really good, and this is a really fast lens, so it's f2.8 at the 70mm point as well as the 200mm point, so it's fast all the way through, and that has many benefits, one of which being the bokeh that you can get with this lens. And the bokeh on this lens is just buttery smooth. I'll show you now, the zoom in, and you can see that it's just really smooth, really consistent, it looks lovely, and you get that at 70 and at the 200mm point. A lot of telephoto lenses, as soon as you move up to the further end of it, you lose a couple of stops, but this thing, f2.8 all the way, and you can see the benefits in the photos for sure. The image quality is just amazing. I've got a couple of photos to show you. So I've done my standard, taken a picture at the 70mm point, and I've taken a picture at the 200mm point, and I've then cropped in, if I wanted to, for the final image. So I'll give you those examples now. So today I had the lens pretty much at 200mm most of the time, and I've cropped in on the final photos and edited them, and I'll show you them now, and I'll show you the before and after, so you can see what I've done in terms of cropping in, and you just don't lose a single bit of image quality. It is just stunning, and I was really surprised. Some of the ones which are quite far away and I zoomed in, they just look epic. So I'll show you those now. The proof is in the pudding, I think, with the image quality. It is just awesome, and it's a combination of all of the different factors. You are paying a lot, but you are getting your money's worth 100%. Its build quality is superb, It's strong, made from amazing materials, the high fluorite element in it, combined with the great image stabilization, great autofocus, super fast f-stop, gives you unbelievable image quality, and you can make up for the lack of zoom by cropping in on the images and not losing any quality at all. So yes, it's expensive, yes, it's totally worth it. In terms of wildlife photography and my uses, if I could combine this with either a crop sensor camera or a doubler, this is something I would always want in my backpack. And it's not just wildlife photography you can use this thing for. Portrait photography, if you want that really, really nice bokeh, if you're going to be in a kind of a busy situation, you're not exactly sure where your subject's going to be, the 70-200 really gives you a great reach. So all in all, awesome lens, and I absolutely loved using it today. I think you could tell that by the video. So again, thank you very much for watching this review. Please let me know if there's anything you would like me to review or anything you would like me to do in these reviews, either more or less. I really appreciate your comments and I really appreciate your time. So thank you very much for watching again. Click like, click subscribe, and tune in for more videos.